We're restoring an original car, or we're making a new car or a new body, or we're building something to someone's design. What we're building here is an MG Special. So it's based on a pre-war chassis, which happens to be a TA MG chassis, and the owner wants a period-style racing body. So how we start with this is with some photographs of original cars, and then we get some shape, and what this frame's doing is to give us a guide for making the actual panels. So the aluminium panels would be wheeled up. This gives us a guide for the shape. So the next step with a car like this is to get the owner to make sure that he can fit in it, because it's important to make a car that owners can fit in. So he'd sit in the car, we'd show him more photographs, he'd agree, and then Ryan, who's over here, would go ahead and wheel up the panels using this wheeling machine there, and that's how it goes.
In the corner of the main building is a collection of machinery that would make a metalworking company 10 times the size of HVR proud. These machines aren't here for decoration. What they can help the craftsmen at HVR achieve is a cornerstone of the company.
Right, yeah, well, we can basically these days make anything because the cars have now reached a point where there's a certain value, so there's worth spending the money on them to get the return. The other thing is, of course, that a lot of the components have passed their use-by date in a big way. For instance, crankshafts. A lot of the 9 times out of 10, the crankshafts, when we crack test them, are cracked, so you can't use them. So what we do is we make, in this case, we're making a new crankshaft for the K-type MG. So that's been machined from a solid billet, and in that process, it allows us to use modern bearings, and also we would put new connecting rods with modern bearings in them as well. So essentially, then you get a bottom end that's bulletproof.
With as many as a dozen different projects on the go at any one time, the machine shop is kept busy with a range of projects.
This looks like a pile of old junk, but I'll go through it. It certainly isn't. Just to give you an idea of the variety of things that happen. That's a 6-cylinder MG cylinder head being ready here for reconditioning. A crown wheel and pinion being fitted up for an Elvis. And over here we have 2 crankshafts that Peter's finished off for MGs. They're new crankshafts, 6-cylinder MG, 6-cylinder MG head in the process of being built. Pete's working on a Lancia Aurelia head, which he's assembling. He's got an Alpha gearbox, which we're making new gears for. He's got MG generators, which he's rebuilding. Making from scratch, special generators. Apart from that, he hasn't got much else to do, have you, Pete? What else have you got down there?
Pete.
Quiet week, yeah. Wrapped up in there are new Alpha camshafts, which Pete's designed as well, for our next lot of Alpha MGs, Alphas. Pete actually machines the billets up, and then he designs his own camshaft timing, and then we have the timing put on by a specialist. But it's all to our own specifications.